Good afternoon. Welcome to this session. So I have to show you the first slide, of course, safe harbor statement based on existing features. My name is François Lepiteau. I'm here to explain and tell you how you can make your application smarter, your application on top of Salesforce. And so before to start, I would like first to say thank you. So I know that you have the choice between going to see Mark Benioff and Parker Harris, or being at this session. So thank you for making this choice, which is the best one I think you did today. What I want to speak about is really something that you are experiencing every day, right? If you go to your mobile phone, you are using this application, right? Like Spotify, you want to listen to some music, and Spotify is really smart. Everything you listened last year, they are going to create a playlist for this year that you can listen your best song. And Mint with Intuit is going to explain you like how did you spend the money last month and how you can make better choice for the following months. Uber is going to tell you like when you should buy your flying tickets and where you can spend less money to buy the flying tickets. And finally, Waze, everybody knows Waze, to go from A to B in the fastest way. What is really interesting in this application is it's data-driven applications. So you don't think about it, but these applications are really like embedded that you can take a better decisions, right? And if you think about this is what you want to provide to your users. You want to provide in your enterprise the same type of capabilities. For your salespeople, you want to guide them and help them to take the better decision using data. For your service people, you want to help them to provide the best customer satisfactions. How you can do that? By bringing all this intelligence from the data with it. And the same for marketing, the same for commerce, the same for IT. This is really the challenge of today. You want to give them what they have in the consumer world, in the space of enterprise world. But of course, this is not so easy, right? It's very complex. When you want to bring intelligence, you need to go with starting with a data science project. You want to bring the data together. You want to create your model. You want to test, validate your model. You want to then operationalize it in your Salesforce org, that every application and every screen of your organization gets this intelligence. So it's a lot of things to do, a lot of data to bring, a lot of skills. And not everybody has these skills in the company, right? Not everybody has the right to have data science people sitting and helping them to build these informations. Not everybody has the infrastructure to do that. So that's why, today, not so many organizations are doing it and creating this experience. So that's why we want to help with Einstein Discovery. With Einstein Discovery, basically, we are providing capabilities to understand your data, understand your trends, your correlations, be able to build model, to do prescription and predictions without to be a data science person, without to have all the skills required to play with the data and validate the data. So here is really about giving you like actionable insights, right? About what you should do, about give you an overall understanding of your business, and be able to predict what's going to happen and put it directly inside the Salesforce organizations. And so we are going now to walk through an example how you can create such experience. And is it really so easy to create such experience? So to be able to do that, I'm going to take a very simple example, right? And even this actually happened at Salesforce, right? When you speak to a customer, you want to know what should be the right discount when I want to sign a deal. Is it 10%, 20%, 30%? Based on the product, based on the type of customers. There is so many parameters that it's really hard to know like what is the right discount I want to apply to a deal. So let me switch to the demo for that. You can recognize this UI, Salesforce, Lightning. I'm a salesperson, and I'm just going to do some opportunity. I'm trying to sell product. So you can see standard list view here. I have all my fields, the product type, the quantity, the quotes, the terms, how long my contract will be, and the proposed discount. And you can see approval required. So I'm a salesperson, I'm speaking to my customers, and I want to be able to provide the right discount to this person. And what Einstein Discovery is telling me is the discount that we recommend in this type of environment is 17%. And right now, the discount I put is 10%. So now I meet with my customers. We have conversations. He's speaking to me, and he tells me, you know, Francois, if you want to make the deal with me, you have to go to 30%. So fine. I want to make my deal. I'm just going to update to 30% here. So now there is a problem, because the system is telling me, like, you know, in this type of deal, we predict that the usual discount is 17%. So if you want to provide 30%, you will have to go to speak to your vice president. You have to make your case, and it's going to be hard, possibly. But what is interesting also here on this side is Einstein Discovery not only recommend you the discount, provide you the explanation for it, but also is going to tell you, like, what can you do to match your customer needs? What can you do to provide a higher discount? And one thing it's telling you is, hey, if you switch your contract terms to 48 months, then you can propose a higher discount. So if I switch, put 48 months, click Save. Now you can see that Einstein Discovery recalculate automatically the predictions. And the prediction for this type of deal now is 30%. And now I don't need any more approval, and now I can sign my deals. So what is really interesting here is, first, when I change a characteristic of my deals, I get the prediction back in real time. I don't have to wait. It's instantaneous. The second thing is very interesting is, on this screen, you can see that we have tied together an approval process linked to the predictions. So like, to know if I have to go through my VP or my director to get the deal signed, I just base these rules based on the predictions. So it's not like a static, hard-coded rules. If you are 10, you need to go there. 20, you need to go there. The logic is completely intelligent, linked to the predictions. So as an end user, now my pricing discussion is much easier. Now I know exactly what can I do and what can I not do. But what is really more important is, as a company, I know that I'm providing the right guidance using Einstein Discovery and using machine learning. And so how did it create this guidance? To be able to do that, we went to Einstein Discovery. So in Einstein Discovery, you are going to be able to load. And what I want to do here, I want to find what are the drivers for my pricing. Is it the discount driven by product, by region, by type of customers I'm speaking to, by the quantities they are buying? And I know as a company, these are very complex questions, and I may not really know the answers. So here, what Einstein is going to do is going to go through all these different combination of information and trying to find you what are the correlations. So first, I'm going to load my data from Salesforce. I can directly extract the data, or I can also use external system if I want. I'm working here on my quote object because, again, I want to work on the discount. And I'm simply going to create my story. What I want to do, I want to minimize my discount to be sure, again, I provide all the time the right discount. And what I can do also is I can play on one variable, the discount. This is, the terms. This is something I can change. Like product, if my customer want to buy this product, I cannot really change that. But for the term, I can play with that. And now I'm going to create a story. So at this point, we are going to load all your type of informations, and we are going to go through all the possible graphs to try to understand what is driving discount. Again, region, product, verticals, or is it combination of different parameters? For each combinations, and you can see here, we are evaluating 2,000 combinations. We are going to test them, statistically speaking, if they are relevant or not, because we want to show you only what makes sense, of course. Then, once we know, we are going to create a story to explain you the result, to explain you what we have found in the data, that before you use that to make your application smarter, you take like a conscious decisions. So this process is taking like pretty fast, as we can see, almost there. So, and it's going to load the story. OK, let me go to an existing one. Up. And this is going to present you what we have found in your story. And you know, what happens sometimes, when you create models, right, you may pick like 10 different variables, 50 different variables. but some of them may have relation to each other. And in this case, the prediction model will not be great. So an example of that, is if you are looking, for example, for like case or churn, like, hey, I want to run churn model. I want to know what is the percentage of chance of somebody leaving my company. And if you have another field, which is why they are leaving, you are going to have a collision because basically the second field is going to be filled only if the person is leaving. So we call this like data leakage. And in this case, as you can see, the biggest thing that Einstein Discovery found is the discount in percentage is linked to the discount in dollars, which is normal because it's a relationship, right? Percentage of dollar, it's just a mathematical relationship. So this is an issue because you know only the discount in dollars only when you know the in percentage, right? So, and to avoid this type of issue, we have created also some help. So Einstein is going to help you to be able to clean your data and clean your story automatically. You can remove outliners, like some deals are way above certain threshold. You should remove them. But also, like here, you have a very strong relationship between these two fields. So you may just want to remove that to have a better story. And again, it's just about bringing you and training you through the story, helping you to create the best value in the predictions. So it's going to take this feedback in account, and it's going to recreate the story using the new parameters. So now, new story has been created, and what you can see is Einstein Discovery is telling you like the term explained by 12% the variation of discount. And this is something done automatically. What you can see also is when you have the gray bar here, 24 and 12, you cannot predict the discount based on these different values because we run some statistical test and there is no statistic behind it. So don't take business decision based on that because it's not going anywhere. What is also, you can go through the story, see different drafts, see different points that are interesting. Another one that we can tell you in this case is region is also driving the discount. Like, for example, you have very good, pretty high discount in India, in Latin America, in Germany, and very low in Japan. You have some explanation also that are automatically generated. But what is really cool is you can also ask other questions like why? Why in some region my discount is so high and others is so low? And to be able to do that, I just switch the question to why, and now I'm going to be able to deep dive on any item. So here, for example, India. I want to know what is driving discount in India, and now I have the full answers, automatically created again. As you can see, India by itself is bad for the discount, is going to increase it. But what's interesting here is when you are against the vertical banking in India, the discount is lower. Also, when up you are in media, in vertical media, the discount is lower. So now you can really understand that, from this graph, you have some great stuff in these two verticals, media and banking. And maybe you want to, strengthen your business in these specific verticals in India because, you'll have a better margin, better discount in this area. But what is more interesting, again, is have the full explanation of what's going on and why it's happening. Also, in terms of transparency, we want to be able to give you the full R code that if you want, if you're interested, if you have like the skills in your company, you can validate our hypotheses. So you can, have fun, look at it. We also provide for the numbers that we have calculated from the model, if you want, again, to validate on your side. So now you have created a story as an analyst. You understand like what is driving your business. You understand that you may like this model now. Now you can apply it in production inside Salesforce. And to be able to do so, it's very simple. You click a button, deploy to Salesforce. You say, what do you want to do? I want to deploy predict discount. Clicks next. Do you want to create multiple models? Because you can also sub-segment. Say, I want to create a model for my SMB market and a model for my enterprise market because they may be very different. In this case, I'm just going to do one model. And just click deploy. And at this point, we have now deployed the model into Salesforce, and it's ready to be consumed by Salesforce. And the last step is very simply, you go to your app builder, you can see the quote object, you can see the new Einstein Discovery out-of-the-box component, and you can just drag and drop in your page. And now you can see like the prediction that you have created inside Einstein Discovery is available for every code created in your system. I click Save. Back. And now you can see the page that is available here. And again, if I change something on the page, it's going to update automatically on the widget. So you went through the full cycles from consumptions to creation of the model, validation, and finally be able to deploy in Salesforce. So, you know, like if you think it's pretty cool, how you can start this journey, right? We have a lot of customers who ask, like, how can we just start and not try to boil the ocean? Just, and the best way to start is really to go through this process. First one is really be able to understand what KPI is really important for your company. Is it discount? Do you want to predict margin, churn? Do you want to predict case escalations, win rate? So really, like, you come with your KPIs that really occur, and at the heart of your company, you identify the data that you want to use to be able to create the model. Then you create the story, and you saw like it's pretty simple. You don't need to be a data science. You don't need to decide which model to use or whatsoever. And finally, you can validate via our story screen. You can validate that the story looks like good for you. You can apply your business knowledge to this story. And to be fair with you, this process is more iterative. So once you will be on the step 4, you may go back and say, hey, I should add this data, or I should remove this. And you may create 10 stories like that. Once you are done with the stories and you have validated, you are going to be able to deploy in Salesforce very simply. And after, of course, be able to measure the impact in your applications and be able to make it better for the next time. So if you follow this 6 step, it's really like the bare bone basic of how you can start the journey to make your Salesforce application more intelligent. Also, if you want to try these applications, very easy. You can go on Trailhead. You can follow the link here. You will be able to have a Trailhead with the full explanations, but also you will have access to a free trial. So you will be able to load your own data, create your own story, see the inside, of course in limited fashions, but you will be able really like to touch and learn more about the product through our four modules from the Trailhead. And if you are really happy about it, you can even tweet. You see some people who was really happy to become like citizen data science who tweet about it, and was really interested by the technology. So if you want, you can go there. Before to close, if you want to continue the discussions, if you want to speak with people using Einstein Discovery, Einstein Analytics, you can go tonight. We have an happy hour. You can go to the 21st Admin Brewery between 6 to 8, and we'll be able to discuss with a beer, so it's even better than discussion here, and have a good time. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any question, please, you can come to here. Thank you.